Hello everybody, welcome back to Let's Play Victoria 2 as Spain. Let us continue on from where we last left off. So, we are still boosting a lot of reactionary support, which we probably do not want to do anymore. I think what we need to do, more than anything, is try to industrialize our country ASAP. To try to have more of a standing on the world stage. We're going to transfer all you guys to go to become craftsmen. Open all factories, subsidize all factories, upgrade whatever factories we possibly can at the moment. It's going to cost a little bit of money, but that is completely okay. I did notice, before I started recording this episode, that the Russians took a lot of territory from the Ottomans. They've got all this territory over here. They've kicked them out of Constantinople. Now I guess their capital, is in Ankara. So, I mean, our position has weakened a little bit, but honestly, it's not so bad. Of course, we have France right here. What we want to do is we need to take Uruguay. Uruguay is the last country standing. Thank you for the prestige. They are the last country standing in South America. But they are, of course, allied to the French. Which I don't think I need to tell you is bad for us. Because we don't want to go to war with France. Because we don't have truce with them. Like, we should be able to get the Italians to help us out a little bit. But, I mean, how much could you really rely on the Italians to do anything like that? I don't know. We'll fund some railroad projects. That seems fine. Let's expand railroad here. Let's also build some railroads in the Ottoman Empire just so we can kind of maintain our control of them. At least for right now. And, you know, why not also build some railroads in Argentina just in case? Because Uruguay. It would be so nice to be able to kill you off. Ottomans, we can definitely have an alliance. I think that's completely okay. Because Argentina has troops ready to go if we wanted to invade. But if we were to invade, we might... Like, we'd have to set a piece out Uruguay somehow. And that's going to be a challenge. But since it's not just that Uruguay is in the French sphere, they're now an actual ally. Which does... definitely change the balance of power somewhat in France's favor, which of course I am not a fan of in the slightest. But we need France to somehow get into a major war, either with the Germans or with, you know, the British. Just somebody to help us out, because I think Britain, they like us somewhat. Austria and the French hate us, but you know, what can you do about that? Somebody's always going to hate you. About a handful more units. You know what? Let's build a small group of units. Just because we at least want to cover every single province we can. And also, yeah, let's upgrade the fortifications on our border with the French. Because, I mean, this is like a big mountain range. Forests, mountains. If we can survive a little bit of time on this front against France, we could probably get something to work out. I do like how our infamy is now actually ticking downwards, which is just fantastic. For the first time in a long time, infamy is no longer the worst thing that's ever happened. I'm guessing Serbia is trying to annex you. Yes, they are. Not a huge surprise. Because Russia, they have a lot of influence right now. France, or you're at war with the French. Why are you at war with the French? Because you want Italian territory. So, now this is where things get interesting. One, we are going to immediately justify a war against you. For make puppet, it's going to take 133 days. That's okay, because France... No, can't France join both wars? Well, first things first, we're going to crank up military spending. Because are you allied to anybody else? You're allied to the Dutch, you're allied to Monaco, but I don't think Monaco's going to help you out too much. Russia is... I mean, can they get military access through Austria? How do the Austrians and the Russians feel about each other? Not on friendly terms, but you also don't like the Italians. So I'm going to join the war. I think it's a little bit dangerous. But that's okay. My goal here is if we can attack Uruguay while France is distracted, maybe we can get something here to actually work out. It really depends on if, 9 before infamy, that's fine. It really depends on if the Russians are able to actually make any headways here. We probably do want to mobilize right away. Because I don't think France could join a war with Uruguay right away. I might be wrong on that. And there's been plenty of times in the past where I have been wrong. Baden, That's fine. You want to do the International? That's no big deal. The Dutch are going to get completely wiped out here. I mean, it does keep my alliance with the Italians going, which is okay. Yeah, you're going to get killed off. France has 103 divisions. The Russians are just marching their way through... Yeah, we see France actually just want to send any troops to our borders, which I'm fine with. But at least want to have an offensive line on my front first. We're really just going to be fighting probably for white peace here. I'm just wondering if you will actually join a war with you or not. This will be done in 53 days. The war with France in the north is definitely not going to be over by that time. I mean, Italy's actually making some relatively decent gains, but again, Russia is just an absolute powerhouse in terms of how many troops are actually able to deploy on the front lines. Like, Germany, if I was you, this would be the time that I would attack. I don't know if they can take Alsace-Lorraine right now. If they could, I would try to take it, though. Okay, so we're going to move our troops now across the border, try to take a handful of territory from the French. Propaganda movement. No revolution. Absolutely no revolution is going to be happening in Spain. We've had too many revolutions in the past for me to want to deal with that nonsense. Okay, so we're going to have another 20 stack. The Italians and the French are fighting down the south. My ships suck ass. We do need to upgrade our navy at some point. And I am going to save here just to make sure that things go relatively okay. Because I want to see if I attack... If I attack Uruguay, will France intervene? It doesn't say anything here. Yeah, you're actually not even allies to the French anymore, so I'm going to call you into the war. And honestly, that should be enough for us to win. I'm not going to call the Italians in, though. The Italians have no reason to get involved in wars in South America. Were we already at war? No, we weren't at war with Paraguay already. I'm pretty sure. Like, are you at... Yeah, you're not at war with Italy. So Paraguay didn't, or Uruguay did not join the war against Italy. I guess that's probably why they weren't actually allies with each other. You know what? That makes actually perfect sense. Are we at least winning? We're at -15. We're actually doing okay. So we might actually be able to get a peace deal here. I don't know if the Italians are going to try to demand some territory or not. Either way, I'm kind of okay with it. And you know what? It's really nice, let me just say, to get some revenge on the French. For sure. I mean, there's also a lot of Russian troops in the north. Italy, at this would be the point in which I would try to sue for peace. But as long as I can defend my borders, I'm kind of okay with whatever outcome actually shows up here. As long as I'm able to, of course, scoop up Uruguay. And complete our Reconquista of the territories. So march our way through here. We've almost got a handful of these sieges done. I'm going to actually send you to this 12 stack up towards the north. I mean, there are a lot of Russian troops in the north. Which is a little bit scary. I'm surprised that nobody's tried to take over the rest of Hungary, though. Especially Romania. They have like a full cost of belly against them. With the backing of the Russian Empire as well. Like, that's... To me, it seems like a pretty obvious fight that you'd want to take. I know our military strength is not perfect. Once imperialism is done, we probably want to get machine guns, just so we can get colonial negotiations. And the reason we want colonial negotiations... Actually, no, we can't get it before 1880, so never mind. My thoughts on the subject have immediately changed, and that's okay. We've won one battle here. I'm not even going to worry about what's happening in South America, because our puppet states should be able to deal with that on their own relatively okay. I'm going to send you guys forward. I mean, it's a little bit risky. But if I can get you guys killed, reinforce here, then go down to Toulouse. Killing a bunch of French units is always a nice pastime. Also, don't march there. Go to Toulouse instead. Okay, so that should mean that our Reconquista has now finished properly. What tech are you guys on? You're on tech 14. I am currently on tech 10, which is better than where we've been in the past. I mean, it's still not great. We're going to send... All of you stay here. We'll send a 29th stack down towards the south. We're at -28. Battle's actually is -42 in our favor. But Russia... has so many men. You still would not accept this offer. Like, I'm fine going to peace early with France. We got another 3 stack here. Scène de foi. Why not? We got our research points. Let's just keep on making our army as good as humanly possible. Combat with -5. Also allows us to get into colonial negotiations when we need to. Okay, 15 against you. We are somewhat even on casualties. But again, even taking even number of casualties, when our military tech is just so much worse, I think is completely acceptable. Got another 1.8 war score here. Let's march into this battle. Like, I don't think we can win. But here's the thing. I know how to trick the AI a little bit. Because we have negative 38% war score. And yet, as you can see, the AI does not want to surrender. Because the AI doesn't have any war goals yet. If I add a war goal on France, can I acquire state 11? No, if I acquire state, it's going to be difficult for us. Reparations. 20% French taxes for a while would not be a bad idea. 15 war score. I want something that's cheap. Like, if I can get a cheap war score... I mean, reparations, it's only 1.2. It's 20 war score, which is a little bit much. You're 5.5. Cut down the size. Release puppet. It's 2.5. What if you release the Papal States? 10 war score. Would allow France to annex you. Or allow the Italians to annex you, which could lead to a stronger puppet. Or a stronger ally down the road. What like Brittany? 35. 35 is a little bit too expensive. You know what? Let's try reparations. Because we now have a war goal. See? Just like that, the AI immediately pieces out. I don't know what it is about the AI that it does not want to do white peace. But if you had a basic war goal, immediately the AI is going to surrender. And I'm assuming they gave me the reparations. Thank you very much. So just a little trick if you have any interest in playing Victoria 2. Just do that if the AI refuses to surrender. But we're now going to be making a lot of money. 400 bucks per month. Per day, I should say, just on French taxes. And I will definitely take that. It's going to weaken you a substantial amount and hopefully allow Germany or something to kind of push their claims. But just like that, you are now all part of... You're just actually my territory, which I'm kind of okay with. But the Reconquista is complete. All of our old territories now, of course, belong to us and us alone. Of course, you're a little bit weaker now. But I'm sure you'll get the strength you need soon enough. I'm not even too sure what I can do with this territory. It's part of Patagonia. I mean, I would be kind of okay releasing Patagonia. But there's really, like, no population in those areas down towards the south. So it's not a big deal if we kind of just, like keep them. Also, you guys will go to here for now. Maybe I should have released the Papal States. Italy, what happened to all of your army? Did they all get completely destroyed? Sokoto, yeah, we can have an alliance. That seems fine. Also, who am I even influencing right now? Basically nobody, which I think a bit of a mistake. So you know what? Why not try to get maybe Benin to be a protectorate of ours? You're neutral with everybody. And I can also make you into a proper state. Fantastic. What about like you down here? You're already a state. Okay. Well, I mean, that's not really what I expected. Patagonian. But the question is, do I want to release Patagonia as a puppet state and just have them kind of deal with the affairs down here? Because again, you're not a colony. You are a proper state of the country. So I mean, it's not bad. It's not bad. We'll fund all this stuff for now. Upgrade as many factories as we possibly can. Like, we're making money. We're making bank because France allowed us to. We did, again, it cost a little bit of infamy to get this peace deal going, but it was definitely still worthwhile. And now that we have finished our Reconquista, I'm kind of okay if we allow democracy to return to Spain, even in a somewhat limited capacity. A very, very limited capacity. And also Serbia's now gotten a little bit larger. I'm just surprised that you have no interest in taking this territory. Also, are you out? You're not allied to anybody. Austria. So, I mean, it is interesting. We might want to do some colonial expansionism somewhere around here. I'm just not too sure where exactly we would want it to be. That's the problem. It's like, where do we want to expand to now? Because, I mean, we've done what we need to do. Everybody over here has submitted to our absolute power. And I'm assuming none of you guys are really close enough to become... Yeah, you're 25, which is really not that good. 32. I mean, we still, of course, have to worry about the Spanish-American War. Because the United States probably is not going to be on super friendly terms with us. But if we have, like, a massive power in all of America, maybe... I mean, you're in semi-constitutional monarchy. How does that work for migration? Nobody wants to migrate to you, which actually does only boost the power of Brazil and the United States. But let's just not worry about that for now. And now that we're actually also making money, let's increase education spending, increase military spending. If we have the cash for it, we might as well try to make our civilian economy as good as humanly possible, at least for the time being. Also, we'll increase you up to friendly. Because France is still here. We have a handful of... Oh, thank you. Thank you, Tunis. Aren't you, like, part of France? You're in the French sphere. Which doesn't really matter so much. You're posted everybody. You're in our sphere. We have a little bit of investments in you. I'm glad... Oh, you've now just become Austro-Hungary. Okay. I guess Romania must have annexed the rest of that territory, then. Oh, so you are now at war with France. Is this the Franco-Prussian War? It is. UK wants to annex some territory. You want to liberate Alsace-Lorraine. The British are supporting the French, or supporting the Germans, I should say. And now you are the German Empire. Treaty of Frankfurt. Establish a frontier between the... Who are you? You're in the Austrian sphere. I mean, that's a little bit interesting. We'll see how that kind of plays out. But now there is a massive, massive German powerhouse in the middle of Europe. Which is something we might need to worry about. France is now at war with Vietnam. Let's just not worry about them too much. Because Germany is now in second place, which is not a surprise. I mean, they are a pretty powerful nation. And you've now mobilized your army to try to kill Abyssinia. I mean, you actually have landed troops there. So, I mean, that's more than what you've done in the past. So, you know, round of applause for you. But you haven't done too much. So now we've got you up to, well, in our sphere. So I wonder if it makes sense for us to try to influence Europe a little bit more. You're also no longer in France's sphere of influence. You're no longer a proper state because of the Franco-Prussian War. But there isn't really anybody in Europe that is not already in somebody's sphere of influence, which is a bit of a shame for sure. Also, Afghanistan, your borders are an absolute disaster, and I hate them. What about Persia? You're friendly with the British. The thing about Persia is that they will eventually get some oil in the late game, which would be nice for us. Japan right now is in the sphere of the Russians, but they'll probably become a great power somewhat soon. What about, you know what? I know you'll probably have oil at some point in the future as well. Absolutely no alliance with the Papal States. Because I can guarantee the Italians are eyeing up your territory. Is France friendly with you? No, you're neutral. So I'm surprised the Italians actually have not already invaded. Because if I was Italy, I would have invaded the Pope, like, yesterday. When I had the ability to quickly march their way through the territory. But you're at war with Romania and Serbia. Which might actually lead to a war with the Russians. What is this war about? You're trying to acquire some core territories. I guess... You're not in the Russian sphere anymore? Sphere of influence. You're not. You're friendly with the Italians. You're hostile towards us. I don't know what we've done towards you. So I'm guessing the event that probably gave them Transylvania kicked them out of the Russian sphere. That's really the only thing that makes sense to me as to what could be going on here. We can also establish a protectorate over Sulu. There we go. That seems completely acceptable. So we've now... Oh. Are you not... Wait, what state are you? Where was Sulu? You were Sulu. Okay, fine. I think I might have just given the British Sulu, which is really not what I was looking for, to be quite honest. What do we need for you? Revolution and counter-revolution. Everybody will hate us. You can annex this reserve, revolution and counter-revolution. But you're not a puppet of ours, which is a little bit of a mistake. Bastar. Why can I influence Bastar? I mean, sure, I'll increase opinion of you. Did I accidentally try to? You mean you're already in the British sphere? Why am I influencing you? Get out of here. I try to influence you. Tar? No, is it Bastar? I've already figured out what it was called. But I know I had a tar in it. It doesn't really matter. I'm guessing maybe it was somebody in Africa or India? Bastar. Where is Bastar? Yeah, I don't know how I possibly could have been trying to get them on our side. But either way, I think this is going pretty okay. And I also think it's going to be a good time for us to end this episode. So thanks everybody for watching. Oh, I will absolutely take the 23 prestige. But thanks everybody for watching. My name is HFM. If you enjoyed, give it a thumbs up. If not, you can always thumb down. You want to see more, subscribe, and goodbye.